go. And we're live. Hi everyone, this is Laura Calais and you're having lunch with Laura. I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for 20 years and I'm here to show you some tips and tricks. I hope you're ready. I wanted to try the window pane cards and I had never fooled with them before, but I've got two examples here. We're going to finish this one and show you how to make one. So the sentiment comes from Fabulous Sayings. This was one of the product of the month. This was January's, and so I'm using To a Fabulous Friend here. I've also got a birthday, so we can make that. And let's see here. Okay. I picked a designer series paper that was very colorful. I'm going to move these for a second. And you know me, I'm all about color. And let me give you some measurements here. This is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 1 1/4. So I'm going to fold that and use my bone folder to give it a crisp fold there, and see how it stays folded. I like that. Okay, so I'm using Calypso Coral. This is Mossy Meadow, and I have cut it 1/4 of an inch smaller. So this is 4 by 5 1/4, 4 by 5 1/4. And then my sheet of designer paper, I cut 1/4 of an inch smaller than this. So I'm going to go ahead, and the first thing I'm going to do is put this down. And it just gives a nice little border all the way around when you cut it 1/4 inch smaller. Now, I have already cut up my designer paper, and now we need to look at it as a puzzle. I love doing puzzles, and so let's see what we come out with. Okay, I cut them so that I had 2 long pieces and 2 squares. And if you notice, this one is just slightly larger than this one, and it's just to give some interest. So let's see, I know that I'm going to have a large one, and here's the small square. Here is, okay, this one's going to go at the bottom, and this one will go at the top. Now, you need to look at it like you're working a jigsaw puzzle. And right here, I can tell that these, oh, excuse me, I'll call you right back. Okay, sorry about that, my eye doctor. Okay, so this piece, as you can see here, let me get it down a little bit lower so that you can see it better. Okay, these 2 pieces don't match. So I'm just going to turn it around and keep turning until we find one that matches. And there it is. Okay, so those 2 match. Now let's get this one. Okay, we have, this one's going to go here, and this one will go there. So I'm going to turn it until we get the right dot. All right, now, if you don't get it, put that one up there, and let's see. Look, that goes together right there. So that means I've got this one in the wrong place. Okay. Now I see the little dots. I'm not sure what kind of flower that is. There's a beige space, and I think that that is going to be perfect. Now, I cut the green, the mossy meadow was 4 inches. So I am going to cut my designer paper 3 1/4 inches across. This is 5 1/4, so this is going to be 5 inches. So 3 1/4 by 5. So I've taken a 1/2 inch all the way around from the original card base. Okay, there you can see that a little bit better. Okay, now let's go ahead and put this down. I am going to use our liquid glue just because these need to be able to move around. But let's place them first and let's see how much space we need. Okay, that is about 1/8 of an inch around and 1/8 of an inch between, oops, okay, 1/8 of an inch around, and then in between, that's about 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to put a little, oh, come on. Now, I just opened this up, so you ought to be working. Okay. Let me grab a pen. Sometimes these close back up, and you have to just take a straight pen and put it in. Okay, now we should have glue. But you just want to be careful where you are holding it when you squeeze, because I have had a project and I've squeezed and all of a sudden, bleh, you get this big blob. So you don't want to do that. Okay. Okay, we want to put it down like so. So let's move it to where it's about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So that'll be our piece that we're going to be going by. And I have a feeling this is going to be a blob, so let me get off camera a second. Okay, let's see, there we go. And did you know that you can unscrew the bottom here? That also has a hole where the glue will come out, but you can also use this to spread the glue that you have down. Okay, and get it all the way to the edges. So that's a handy tip to know. And let's put this down. Okay, I've turned it around, so let's go back. No, I didn't. Here we go. Because there are those little, there's some little dots right there. And I'm going to put up just a wee bit. Okay, so looking good so far. Now I'm going to put the large piece here. Now, you know, you do not have to cut them the way I did. You can cut them any way you want. It's just important that you have a little bit of room between each piece. Okay. All right. See how those are going to go together? And then the last piece. Goes right here. Okay, so now we have our window pane card. Like I said, you can cut them equally, cut it in half and then cut it in half again and have equal portions, but you want to try to get them back together like a puzzle. Now, on both of these, if you really look, they don't match. Okay? See how the leaves don't match, the flowers? But can you tell? I mean, you really have to study the card to realize. Now, this one did match up. Okay? So, you can do it any way you want. Now, let's do our sentiment. We did to a fabulous friend here, and it's a long sentiment. So my Mossy Meadow and Very Vanilla are going to be cut for that. So if you want a long sentiment like that, the main thing is I cut the width to be 3/4 of an inch, and this is a half inch. Looks smaller, doesn't it? All right, we're going to use, I'm going to make a birthday card out of this. So the first thing I'm going to do, I've got a little glue there, is to stamp my cinnamon on the Very Vanilla. And I'm going to put it to one side. And if you use your grid paper, or if you have one of these glass mats, you can go by the lines and it will help guide you a little bit. Let's see how I did. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, I am going to add some pearls to this, but I still think this is too long. I put too many pearls there, so I'm just going to trim this about the same distance as the H is from the end. And I'm going to go ahead and put this down. And I'm just using seal. You can use whatever adhesive you have. And I'm going to put it right here. Now I know exactly how much I need to trim off. Okay? We're going to put some dimensionals. Here's a sheet. I'm just going to put 2. I put 3 on the larger one. And I'm going to put this up just a little bit. We're going to change it up slightly. And I'm going to put it right there. But I'm also going to add, we're going to see how this looks. I cut some ribbon, and you can do it, you know, just put it down like that if you want, and cut the edges so that they look nice. Or you can do what I thought about, which was just making a little design there, and I'm going to stick it to the dimensional, which means I'm going to have to get some more dimensionals. Let me see if I even like that. What do y'all think? I'm not going with the ribbon. Y'all could tie a bow or put it anywhere. I'm going to put this right okay? Now, I love to put bling on the paper. And I happen to have these iridescent ones that we had at one time. I just looked through my stash and decided that I was going to try some different things. Okay, I'm going to put one of the smaller ones right here by the happy, and I'm going to put another one here, and let's put a large one. Let's see, do we want a large one? Could be maybe in the center of, let's see. Oh, let's put it down here. Okay, and I made the center of the flower. Now, as you know, you can put as many or as few as you want. Another idea I thought about, and I'm going to try it on this card, was to use Wink of Stella. I don't know if y'all have tried this, but it's I don't know if you call it a glitter pen. I threw the box away. Let me see, Wink. It just says Wink of Stella. So let me show you what it looks like when you take it out of the package. Okay, you see this black ring right there? You need to unscrew the top and the base and take that little spacer out, and then when you screw it back on, there's a needle in there and you'll be able to get it working, but you have to remove that little spacer. Well, I'm not ready to open this one yet because I've still got two that have stuff in them, so I just wanted to show you how to get to it, because that can be frustrating when it doesn't come out. Now, then you have two little places that say push, and you're just going to knot over your project. You're going to put a little, squeeze a little, you can see it come down the barrel. I need a little bit more. Come on. Okay, now it's coming out a little bit. Let's see, and I'm just going to pick a couple flowers and just put some Wink of Stella on them. And I'm not even being careful about staying in the lines. Ah, there it comes. I didn't have enough in the barrel yet. Okay, now see what happened? A splotch came out, so I want to make sure that you don't do that on your project. Okay, now let's just paint a little on there. And, oh, can you see the shimmer? I don't know if I can get it to show you. Now, if you don't, let's see, that's going to dry, but it had a lot on it, and that's the reason that it looks like that. Okay, and I colored the white flower there. And I'm going to do a white one up here. This just adds a little bit of shimmer and shine to your paper. And then, of course, you can always add a pearl, or we'll put some pearls in this one. Now let's put, see how the iridescent ones don't look white or vanilla. So I'm going to put that here. And I'm just going to, okay, I need to take off some of the glue. Wind that down and get just a little more going. And it's amazing, once you, if there's nothing showing at the top, just give it a little turn and then it'll come out. Well, I'm not letting y'all see that. Not doing so good with my screen today. Okay, see how now I've got almost too much, but I'm gonna leave that. Okay, now I'm gonna pick up my pearls, and I'm gonna put them in, if I have enough of the beige area, that's where I'm gonna stick them. There isn't much over here. And we're going to use 5 on this card. We're going to really make it shine. And let's see, I'll put it right there. So there you have that card. And just to finish this one up, and since I have my Mossy Meadow ink and my Fabulous Friend, I'm going to go ahead and do a Fabulous Friend. So let me ink that up. And I'm lining it up on against one of the lines in the mat. And I mean, this just does fit. Perfect. I'm going to put this on here. And, oops. Need it to go down just a little. See, I should have used the liquid glue. Well, I'm just going to trim a tiny bit off. There you go. Okay, now, oh, and look, I got one of these dimensional sheets. Be sure that you are using the outside. I like to get as much bang for my buck as I can. And then you can just clip these. I usually, when I get one, clip it all the way around, and then it's ready. But I'm just going to peel off a little one. Like I said, I used 3 on the big ones. Take the back off. And let's see, should I put it here? Or should I put it like this one? I think I'm going to put it right there since it's down and it's stuck. Okay, so now we've got 2 Fabulous Friend cards, one that I adjusted and made a birthday card out of. Okay, so now there are our 3 cards, and since there are no stamps that have an image, I'm going to use the designer paper to decorate the envelope flap. I'm sure y'all have seen this before. And this is a directional paper, and it is going up and down. So forget what I was going to tell you about that. I was going to tell you to make it, directional when you folded it over. But it really doesn't matter. But I'm going to use the piece that has more flowers here. So you're going to put liquid glue on the back of the envelope flap. Okay. Then you're going to take, now that was the side with the flowers that I wanted to use, and I'm just gonna, since I didn't cut this to go there, this was kind of a last second thought. Oop. Now see how that liquid glue lets you move things around a little bit. Okay. Now, I'm going to turn this over, and all you have to do is rim around the flap, and it's going to make a gorgeous envelope for your gorgeous card. And, well, let go. I must have, I think I have some glue on my scissors that I need to. And alcohol will take that right off. So here is your flap. Isn't that beautiful? And it can go with your card. Now, when I make special envelopes, I always do them like this, unless it's a card that's portrait. And then you know that goes together when you go grab it out of your cards. One last thing, when you mail your cards, if they have any kind of embellishment on it, you're going to write your sentiment, stick it in the envelope, and put a piece of paper. This is Walmart's cardstock. It's not as thick as ours, but it is cheaper than using your good cardstock. And I cut the page so that I would have 4 by 5 1/4, and it would fit right in the envelope. But it says, to protect embellishments, please discard. And I have seen cards at the store, not that I've ever bought them, but they will have something like this to protect if they have embellishments on there. And then all you're going to do is put it over your card and tuck it inside the envelope. And there you have it. Okay? So, I hope I've taught you a few tricks this time, and that you'll come back and see me again next week. I do my best to do a live on on YouTube every Thursday at 12 noon. There have been some that I've missed recently, but that's when you can look for it. And be sure to subscribe, and you'll get all the information. Also, I will, in the comments for the YouTube video, I will show you where to go to get the instructions on this card. Have a great day. Come back and see me. Love you.